All right, the title of this video is Understanding Normal Wear and Tear. And that's a joke because you're never going to understand normal wear and tear because it doesn't make any sense. The term itself is incredibly problematic, all right? So normal wear and tear as defined is the expected deterioration of a property through normal use. But of course, no two people are ever going to agree on what normal use is. So we can try, we do our best. It's very difficult. Basically, it's not abuse, it's not neglect. Like, it's really obvious when it's really obvious damage. It's a little gray pretty much everywhere else, all right? And there's a bunch of different factors, right? Like, how many people lived in the property? How long did they live there? If two people live in a carpeted 650 square foot apartment for over 3 years, walking tracks on the carpet, I would say that's normal, right? They didn't have a lot of space to walk around in the first place. But if that same apartment was only 6 months into the lease and it was only one person and the carpet shows heavy wear, that's not normal. They were doing something weird in there. Okay, they were abusing it. I don't know, but that's not normal. How do I know? Just from experience, because I've seen multiple floors, but really there's no hard science to it. So we try with this. So what we do say is normal wear and tear of a property. These are just items that we've identified and have, decided are normal. Small nail holes or little tack holes in a wall. Okay, that one's disputed often, and we've decided that if it's a small nail hole or tack, that's normal. If it's a big hole, like you mounted a TV, that's damage, that's gonna be charged. Other ones we have is like dirty grout or caulking. That's pretty normal. Like any place is gonna have normal deterioration of caulking or grout. Loose handles, hinges, they get looser over time. That's not damage. Burnt out light bulbs, pretty normal, right? That just happens by normally using a light. Eventually the light bulb will go out. Damage, things that we always charge for are large holes in the walls. Again, like mounting a TV or a big mirror or big shelf where you like put those anchors in the wall. That's gonna be damage, that's wall damage. Broken or missing doors, doorknobs, locks, fixtures, or appliances. So we've literally had people just say, I like this light fixture, I'm gonna take it with me. So, they get charged for that. Stains, burns on the carpet, counters, or walls. So sometimes there's, sounds weird, but particularly in like the kitchen, there'll be like food stains on the walls from splashing. That's not normal. If they would have wiped that off immediately, it wouldn't have stained it. They didn't, so that was abuse or neglect. So that's damage. Pet damage, so urine, chewed up. If the pet messes in the house, if they chew or scratch up the trim or the doors, that's pretty common. That's all damage. And obviously items just left or dumped at the property, tenants get charged for that as well. Okay, so, normal wear and tear comes into play when we're talking about withholding deposits. Point is to document everything. And if you're going to withhold damages, like the cost, then you have to be able to produce a invoice or receipt for making the repair in order to justify it. If you're doing your own work as a self-managing owner, you have to still write up an invoice to yourself so you can show the tenant, like, this is how much it cost to repair these items. Conclusion, normal wear and tear is by far the trickiest part. I'm a stickler for my policies and procedures, and I like things to be very black and white. And unfortunately, normal wear and tear is one of those things that it can't be. Some things are black and white, but for the most part, it exists in the gray, and we just have to do our best with documentation and reasonable conclusions. So if you like this video, let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, follow along, and we'll talk more about all sorts of things property management.